All right, let's go ahead and move on to our first proclamation, 6.4, 9:05 a.m., presentation of proclamation declaring the second Monday of October as Indigenous Peoples Day in Lake County. Vice Chair E.J. Crandall. And I believe Mr. Steele is supposed to come up as well.
Yes, Mr. Steele, please come up. And anyone else that's here for the proclamation, you can come and stand up here with us. Okay. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to read in English and also in Haitsinu. And so this is going to be read by Tony Steele. He is, you're which tribe?
My name is Anthony Steele, and I'm the president of the Kanokatai Native Wellness Board. I'm a board member. I'm a member of the Lytton Band of Pomo Indians out of Sonoma County. I'm a member there. I grew up on Kashaya, but my ancestry and where I live today is Lower Lake, which is Khoi Umtimfo. Thank you.
I didn't want to mess that up. Thank you. Okay. Godi Duaname, Chintama, Bawinawa, Bawinawa, Ba Koligok, Angat Kabatin, Wemashi E.J. Crandall, District 3 Supervisor, Kabatin, EEE. And I just basically said, good morning, my friends, my family, and people of Lake County, District 3 Supervisor of Lake County, and thank you. And so I'll start off with this proclamation. It's declaring the second Monday in October Indigenous Peoples Day in Lake County. Whereas the area now known as Lake County has been home to people for greater than 12,000 years and richly diverse cultures of the 7 tribal nations indigenous to Lake County: Middletown Rancheria of Pomo Indians of California, Khoi Nation of Northern California, Big Valley Band of Pomo Indians, Scotts Valley Band of Pomo Indians, Habematolel Pomo of Upper Lake, Robinson Rancheria of Pomo Indians of California, and Elam Indian Colony have informed every aspect of our community's history. And
Heko, we afdeklai bostotset, obai omlai haitinu opte muatet, yahake we kamelai haitinu yolbit, omlai ukatal nantatserit. Sama metzil we helai, yahake we kamelai, balakmai. Yahake mi kemsel haitinu, baitinu kowe umtim weya. My ukat kemsel hekate, we umtim hawimbak, witbak meko haitinu. Obai amayel ukat haitinu muatadit. We umtim kemsel mitza mesat ke uitzama. Mi shepateta sauklo me hawinsat, katui hako haitinu mailbakot, Middletown Rancheria, Khoi Nation of Northern California, Big Valley of Pomo Indians, Scotts Valley Band of Pomo Indians, Robinson Rancheria of Pomo Indians, ke Elem Sauklo, Elem Indian Colony.
whereas policies and practices of the United States and earlier colonial governments deprived indigenous people in the state of California and Lake County, specifically of land holdings, liberty, even life itself.
We makalai hawembak nantatse to by amayal mi mebak tsanubit bokot yahake we ukat umtin matun mebak nantatse. Amatun auda uy mail bokot.
And whereas the County of Lake is committed to protecting rights of tribal organizations and institutions to strengthen their own communities, and whereas Indigenous Peoples Day was first proposed to the United Nations more than 40 years ago,
we makalai hawembak nantatset obaya mail mi mebak tsanu bokot yahake we ukat umtinfo matun mebak nantatset. Amatun auda ui mailbokot. Will mail ukat kataili doa. We okte metsat. We okte haitunuloket. We okte hehenolet. We okte hehemfoket. We okte umtinfo kwabehelet. We okte matumfo adomset. Katke. We okte mesat.
And whereas in January 2019, Lake proudly became the first United States county with 2 concurrently seated American Indian supervisors.
We kambelai umtinfo tatsit. Ke we ukatal makalai hawim for nantatsit yahake omlai bostotsit. Omlai wit by ukatal dawa oli tsamawala fadikya.
And whereas, because of our historic position, we have a responsibility to lead in honoring and celebrating the legacy of all America's indigenous peoples, and particularly those indigenous to Lake County.
We mai bostotsit o by maiba umtinfo hawim baknantatsit miyi amail auda nukat. O by we ukat matibak. Mai ta ukatal hoko Michel kachani hine. O by whipbak umtinfo by kat hokoyel kit. With okat the ketsit. We hawim for mecho betekat adomsit. O by we uit hatzikat kat ke mail hawin mecho adomsi fadekadit. By ukatal oli tsamawala we mail tsanu uit da fatui kitsi chota sholbat.
Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Lake County Board of Supervisors declares each second Monday in October Indigenous Peoples' Day in Lake County, passed and adopted this 8th day of October 2024. Signed, Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Bruno Sabatier. Oh. I know when we passed this in 2019, it was very special to first start this from going from what was once called Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day. But today is even more historic to have it read in one of our native languages. And I want to thank Kyle Bill for reaching out to me and getting this worked on, because it's a very special event, and I can feel just, I don't know, I'm just overwhelmed with emotion just to feel you speak those words, because I think we can feel it. And I think, Tony, you've told me before, our land here yearns for that language. And so I want to thank you again for doing this, and offer anybody, the tribal leaders that are here to speak.
I just want to say, I just need to say really quick on behalf of my teachers that have helped me and taught me and are still teaching me today. I'm learning, but the passion is in my heart to keep that language going, to keep some of the, and I have to disclaim that it's very, very difficult to translate verbatim some of the words. It does, in our language, if you were talking to somebody in the 17th century, it wouldn't make sense, that document. And so the translation is from the heart of this land. It's from the heart of the ancestors from this place, and it's from the people that are still here doing these things. And so if you ever get an opportunity to see that and learn that language and be able to translate it and see what it's saying, it'll hit your heart. So I just needed to disclaim that on behalf of my teachers who may be watching.
I also wanted to just mention that Batsulwin Brown here is a planning commissioner for District 3 as well. And so I just wanted to make sure to put you on the spot too, but I could see Chairman wants to come and say something. So,
good morning. I'm Flaming McLeod, Chairman for Big Valley Rancheria. I just want to thank Anthony for doing that, and the Board of Supervisors for doing this morning. It's easier to speak, when I speak to my family members and my people than it's more nervous when talking to a community, right? I'm a wholehearted believer that when we're standing up here, you see us standing here, but I see our ancestors behind us, everything that they went through and what they carried on and what they went through for us to be here today. A lot of our language is lost, and it's something that was taken from us, right? But we're still here, right? And when these things are honored for our people, right, whether it's changing it from Columbus to Indigenous Peoples Day, it makes my heart happy because we're seen, right? I feel like we're seen, and that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Oh.
Good morning. Michael Marks, Vice Chair, Upper Lake, and I wholeheartedly believe what Chairman said, Flamin McLeod. It's nice to get the acknowledgement, and these are steps toward healing, so we do appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Mahekate, Wihin Rose Still, Ilambuk, Ayokiobuk, Yahake Kanakamaole. My name is Rose Steele, and I'm from Elam on my father's side, sitting here, and Mendocino County, I'm from Yokeo. And so I just want to give thanks for this beautiful proclamation today. And it was just on my heart to share, we're 500 generations Lake County. And so the words that our language teachers share is that if our land could speak, that's the language it would speak in. And so I share that because it's so important that all the places around Lake County, they have a name in our language. And I want to share that because it's disheartening sometimes to see I love the senator, but Mike Thompson Park, when we have a name for that place. And we gather roots and we gather acorns and we teach our children the names. And so I just want to share that because all of us in this room, we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, and they wanted us to be good people. And so, Tiba Shlotze to the Board of Supervisors.
All right. All right, thank you. And we have a proclamation for all of the tribes that are here as well in both languages, so that way you can take back to your leadership, tribe or elders, however you decide. So I'll open it up to the board to go ahead and speak. Oh, wait. Sorry, we'll let...
Thank you. Hekatama. My name is Jim Brown, and I'm from Elam. And I'm 71 years old. I was born and raised in this county. And I actually do a radio show I've been doing for 20 years. It's live tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm so proud when I stand here, especially when we have 2 Native American supervisors elected here. Did you know that there's no other county in the United States that has 2 Native American representatives on the Board of Supervisors? Lake County did that. Unfortunately, when I got started as the chairman of my tribe, the only time, 98 to 2000, was when the gaming started. And the Board of Supervisors voted against Indian gaming here. And when the Record B went and asked one of the supervisors why he voted, because in his District 3, he had 3 Indian tribes, he actually said, I don't give a rat's ass about what Native Americans think. I went on a pilgrimage and supported Denise Russian to get that supervisor out. Next came the Native Americans. So even though that was so hurtful, I looked at how powerful it was to change. Remember, a person without knowledge of his history and tradition is like a tree without roots. We're all in this together. Look at the fires. Look at everything that's happening to our county. We need to come together as humans and understand that we can work this out. And for me, I'm so proud of these younger people here. All of them. Nobody in my age would ever do this. They were discouraged. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of erasure of our culture here. Today, one of the biggest parks in our area is being developed, but they refuse to put a traditional name on it. Yet, my tribe has a 22,000-year history here. And every tribe that calls himself Pomo originated from us. And that's how old our nation is. And I want to also say that in that year, how I responded to that was 2 of my members stepped up and said they wanted to join law enforcement. Lyle Thomas and Kia Brown. They came from Elam. And they were a part of Lake County's law enforcement. I think Lyle's retired now, and Kia is still working as a highway patrolman here. So we're so proud of our families. See, but that always, nobody talks about that. We don't get newspaper coverage like everyone else does. So again, I want to thank the Board of Supervisors for this. We need to be all aware, and thank you so much, all my people and all the leaders today. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh.
Supervisor Pyska?
Vice Chair Crandall, thank you for bringing this, and thank you for the translation. This is really powerful. I think every one of us in this room is feeling it deep within us. And I also want to recognize the courage that it's taken for so many people to step up out of their comfort zone to get us to this place today. So thank you all for coming, and thank you for being a part of this.
Supervisor Green?
I share those comments. I also celebrate those who appear here today in leadership. One of the great privileges of my 2 years on this board is being able to build bridges in these communities and see this current generation and future generations of leadership that I do think Supervisors Crandall and Simon certainly have paved a way. But look at this great upswelling of leadership. And it is a time for celebration, but it's also a time for acknowledgement. Definitely it kind of shortchanges it here, but the past practices and policies of the United States and earlier colonial governments, the past actions of people, the people who are settlers who came in and their assorted bad acts, and then the bad acts of our governments. Learning the traditions is one thing, but really learning about the pain and learning about the separation of families. When I first started learning my belated education, it was a job duty. I started doing noticing when I was in social services under the Indian Child Welfare Act. And so you had to learn about what ICWA was about and why the distribution of Native families was programmatic, and just the tragedy that was visited upon family programmatically and forcefully, and that's why we have that law now. But it's a pale remediation. So just as our Native friends gathered here today have a full understanding of their culture, not just of the celebrations, but of the sacrifice, I'm belated, and I think I'm not alone in that. So if you are not a Native person and you have not had the opportunity to fully immerse yourself in the richness of the Native cultures here, I invite you to do so. But I also want you to know that if you do it right, you're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel a little less sure of yourself and your understanding of American history. I'm much less certain of it than when I started in this chair. And so if you're not feeling uncomfortable, if you're not feeling the pain of your Native brothers and sisters, you're not doing it right. So I invite you to continue your own exploration as brothers and sisters with our Native friends here. Thank you.
So I want to make sure and speak of our colleagues, Supervisor Simon. I know that he co-sponsored this with you, Vice Chair, and he has been part of the change, initiated the change that has occurred at the Board of Supervisors. I don't mean to correct. I think it's a positive correction, but there are more counties in the United States that have 2 Board of Supervisors, and I think they might actually be called commissioners, and that's in Coconino County in Arizona, right in the midst of the Navajo Nation. My friend Lena Fowler, who is a Board of Supervisor down there, is trying to make contact here because she wants to celebrate what she has had seeing over in Coconino County, because she wants to continue to see more of that. And I think that's what today is all about, is progress. We are making progress. Mr. Steele, I will never forget the day that I randomly sat in when we organized a Native American Day of Empowerment over at Woodland Community College, and you did a presentation to some of the youth about what supports people's abilities to cope, be successful in life, and deal with their surrounding environments. And you talked about how culture being taken away takes away those coping mechanisms, takes away the network of support. And I think that for those that may still not understand, because there's people like that still are around, that's the reason to exchange what used to be Columbus Day with Indigenous Peoples Day. Is too long there's been oppression, and it's time that we start celebrating and acknowledging the Native people of the United States, not just here in Lake County. So that presentation it's marked me. It's something I will never forget. It was the best visual representation of that explanation, and I really appreciated that. But I also appreciate the things that unfortunately have occurred in the past, because I'm here and I am friends with a lot of people that are on this stage. And by us mixing together, we also get to create new relationships and new bonds and take new paths moving forward. But we have to learn from the past, and we have to do better as we move forward. And again, that's why we're here today, because we are doing better and we are making progress. So thank you very much. The translation, I agree, powerful. Really appreciate that, hearing that and feeling that, and just a good day altogether. So thank you, everybody. So sorry. Is there any public input to add to this conversation? Please raise your hand. We have Kyle Bill from Konokatai Native Wellness.
Thank you to the Board of Supervisors, to our team at Konokatai Native Wellness for working on this. Anthony Steele, for all your work and your commitment to being a student of our language and to reawaken our language, and look forward to hearing next year's proclamation in another dialect around the lake. This is just the beginning, and I'm very excited for this. And I just want to thank all of our relatives that are present in the room that are continuing to do the work of our ancestors for the future generations of our people. And just want to say how proud I am to be a part of a wonderful team that's doing this work, not only in Lake County, but throughout California and the United States. So thank you again. It's a beautiful day to be Indigenous, and it's a beautiful day to be from this beautiful place that we all call home. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment from either the audience in the chamber or Zoom? All right, seeing none, let's go ahead and take a picture.
A good side.
Oh, that's